Hi, I'm Cathy Ward, and I'm a mindfulness teacher and a massage therapist. So the world that we live in at the moment has changed so much in the last couple of months, and I see people struggling and I hear people struggling, and a number of people have asked me, is mindfulness something that would support them through this difficult time? And yes, it is, but when we're struggling, it's not always the easiest or the best time to start learning mindfulness. We've moved from a world where many people felt relatively safe to a world where I would say the majority of people don't feel safe anymore. Some of us may be living on constant alert, protecting ourselves and feeling we've got to protect our families from this virus. Maybe you're grieving a loved one or worrying about a family member on the front line. Maybe you are that person on the front line. Maybe you're wondering how you're going to pull through financially, or if there'll be a job for you at the end of this. Do you have an elderly relative in a home, or do you have children at home and you are now their teacher as well as their parent? I see so many struggles and the list seems endless. Only a few weeks ago my own father died on a COVID-19 ward, and I'm living with the pain of grieving my own father. In the same week, me and my husband are self-employed and we lost 95% of our income. We have children, we have grandchildren, and we both have elderly parents. And I have a beautiful mum who's doing her first 12 weeks of being a widow in isolation on her own. I want you to see that we're living this too. And being mindful and living in the moment is not easy in these difficult times. So I started to record meditations that I use when my mind is buzzing and won't stop jumping around, or when that shooting pain of grief hits my life. How do I hold myself with gentleness and kindness and remind myself to be who I am in this moment? It's so important that we learn not to suppress our feelings and not to hold them inside. I want this pain and this struggle to flow through me. I want this to be a season in my life, a season that I can move on from, not a season I get stuck in. So as I'm leading these meditations, you might quietly hear me cry, or when my voice wobbles. But as I'm recording these meditations for you, I want you to know that I'm living this with you. I'm meditating with you. I'm being who I am in the moment with you. And I hope that supports you to feel free to do the same. Meditation shouldn't be a distraction from the world that we live in. It's about living through the good and living through the bad. Neither is it about blocking it out and emptying our minds. It's about being who we are in that moment and knowing that's just fine. It's not letting our minds run off with what if this happens and what if that happens. It's just being ready to live with what actually does happen. It's not living in our past or worrying about our future, but it's about being in the moment with whatever that brings. Sometimes it is going to bring great sadness and we need to learn to be with that, but at other times it'll bring peace and happiness, laughter, joy, good food and family and friends. We need to be able to hold ourselves in that time too. In these sessions, I want to support you in learning more about being yourself in the present moment, whatever that holds. noticing the whole of who you are, your mind, your body and your soul. Take your daily living out of your head and carry it with strength, with the whole of who you are. How to show kindness to yourself in that difficult moment without a big bar of chocolate. To become more aware of how our inner world changes our outer world, and know that you are changing the world by changing you in the world, and you're changing the world by changing you first. Taking a different you back to your family, your friends, and into your work. There's no such thing as a good practice or a bad practice, or a good session or a bad session. It's just bringing who you are today. You might have had a busy day or a quiet day. You might have had a difficult day or an easy day. All this changes the way we're able to engage in a mindfulness practice, and in the stillness and in being in the moment. But embrace yourself as who you are, and don't judge, and be the person that you were created to be in this moment. This isn't about me setting up a program or giving you a routine to follow. This is about learning skills and learning to use them in a way that suits you. Finding out how mindfulness living could work for you, but remembering one size doesn't fit all. But in this season of your life, what works for you? Don't throw everything else out and say that doesn't work for me, because in another season of your life, it might be just what you need. I have found that I change and life changes, so keep your mind open and keep it free. All I'm going to ask is, if you have a mental health problem, please speak to your doctor before doing any of these meditations, and just check that they're all right for you. And if you don't have a mental health problem, at the first sign of a problem, just speak to your doctor. If you just feel that little bit out of control, please don't wait till you're sinking fast before you go for professional help. I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. These are just practices that, as a mindfulness teacher, I'm personally using to help me get through a difficult time. And I hope in sharing them with you, I can support you in finding your way through too. So I look forward to seeing you on the other recordings. Take care.